guys, it's Martin. I'm back with another video, and in this video I'll be predicting the AFC East, which I'm excited about because that is the Buffalo Bills division, and as many of you guys know, that's my team. So I'll be going from last place to first place, just like last week. But before I start, I want to ask you to please consider subscribing if you like this video. Only about 20% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if you enjoy the video, please think about subscribing. It's very helpful for me, and it's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you decide you no longer want to watch my videos. Now, the team I'm going to start with, probably no surprise, is the New York Jets. They're going to do better than I think you might expect them to, but they're not going to be a playoff team. Their top 5 offensive players are Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Mekhi Becton, and Zach Wilson, who is their rookie quarterback. I think offensively they'll be good or average in the 15 to 20 range. Defensively, they have Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, Ashton Davis, and Marcus May. I think they'll be pretty good in the 10 to 15 range, maybe even great. As for their schedule is rough, at least at the beginning of the season. They start at the Panthers. I have that as a loss. Then versus the Patriots, Belichick crushes rookie QBs. Just look at the 45-0 win against Justin Herbert last year, if you don't believe me on that one. Then in the third week they have the Broncos, and the Broncos defense is elite, up and down, especially in the secondary, and they're going up against a rookie QB in Zach Wilson, so I think that'll be another loss. Then the Titans, I think Julio Jones will have a breakout game with Derrick Henry under 100 yards, because the Jets have a really good run defense, but not such a good pass defense, so I think that's how that will go. And then they're at the Falcons, which is another team that likes to pass the ball, so I think they're going to lose that. So that one actually is in London. So they'll go into the Week 6 bye not doing so hot, 0-5. But the good news is I have them getting their first win in Week 8. But before that, they're going to lose another one to Belichick and the Patriots, because I just don't think Zach Wilson is going to beat the Patriots this year. Then I think they will beat the Bengals. I think this will be an interesting game between two rising quarterbacks in Joe Burrow and Zach Wilson. And I think this will be a shootout win against another team that's kind of in a rebuild right now. At the Colts, I have them losing. It's a short week against a better team. That one's on Thursday night. And then they got the Bills the following week, and the Bills are a far better team, so I have the Bills winning that one. Then the following week, they have the Dolphins. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to catch the Dolphins once, and I think it's going to be at home. And they'll split with them since they're a divisional opponent. And this is where the schedule gets really good for the Jets, because I have them beating the Texans. I think the Texans could win this game if they have Deshaun Watson, but I'm assuming for the purposes of this video that they won't. And then they have the Eagles, so I think they'll win both of those. And that gives them 3 wins heading to 12-12, where they play the Saints. So I have them upsetting the Saints here. I think the Jets' run D will shut down Alvin Kamara, and I think Winston will struggle. The following week at the Miami Dolphins, I have them losing. This is a revenge game for Tua and for the Dolphins, and a divisional split. Then I have them beating the Jaguars, because they're about even teams, but the Jets are at home. And I think, to be honest, the Jets are a little further along in their rebuild than the Jaguars are, especially considering that they have a coach who's coached in the NFL before. I think that'll play a part. And then they're versus the Bucs and the Bills to end the season. Now, the Bucs are elite, the Bills are elite, but if the Bills rest their starters, they could go 7-10. So I have them going 6-11, and I think their ceiling is 7-10. Floor is about the same as last year, which is 3-14. So I think the Jets will improve, and I think what you're going to look at this year is they'll be a tough team for almost everyone who plays them, and Zach Wilson will improve as the season goes along. Now, in third place, and this might surprise a few who are low on the Patriots this year, but in third place is the Miami Dolphins. Their top 5 on offense are Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Mike Gesicki, tight end, Myles Gaskin, running back, and Tua Tagovailoa, which is their quarterback. Their offense, I think, will be good to great in the 10 to 15 range, probably more like the 10 to 13 range. I think they'll have a pretty solid offense this year. Defensively, they're going to be really good. They got Xavier Howard, Emmanuel Ogbah, Jerome Baker, Raekwon Davis, and Christian Wilkins. So I think they'll be a great defense. I don't think top 5, but I think top 10. So on to their schedule. They start with the Patriots on the road, and that's just a hard way to start the season for anyone. The Patriots won't have Will Fuller until week 2, but I think Belichick will still throw different looks at Tua week 1, and I think the Patriots will win that one. The Bills, I have them losing to the Bills. The Bills are a better team and will overpower the Dolphins' defense, much like we saw in the last week of the season last year. And then they have at the Raiders. Now, I'm not very high on the Raiders this year, let me just say that. I think they will win against the Raiders. I think their pass D will shine against Carr, and I think it'll be a breakout game for Tua. The following week, they play the Colts, and this is another Carson Wentz against an elite pass D. I'm not too high on the Colts this year, and I think they'll win that one too. But I think the Dolphins are the better team too. Then they're at the Bucs. I mean, not many people are beating the Bucs. Then at the Jags, I think they'll win that. Tua is more experienced. The Dolphins are a better team than the Jaguars, even though that one will be played in London. The following week, they'll be at home against the Falcons. I think that one will be a win for them. Then they're at the Bills. I think they could beat the Bills once, but if they beat them, it's going to be when they're at home, 9-19. I don't think they're going to beat the Bills on the road. So this is an on-the-road at a better team situation. So I think they'll lose that one. Then they'll beat the Texans. Not much to say about that. The Texans I think, might be the worst team in the NFL this year. Then I have them losing to the Ravens, a short week against a very good team. And the Ravens, they run the ball a lot, which might create problems for the Dolphins. Because even though their defense is very good, run defense is the weakness. At the Jets, I have them getting upset, as I mentioned with the Jets. Then I have them losing to the Panthers, and I have them beating the Giants. So they go into the bye week with a 6-7 record, so not great. But then I have them coming off the bye week with a win at home against the Jets in a revenge game. I have them losing to the Saints and losing to the Titans. I think the Titans are slightly more balanced offensively, with a better QB in Tannehill, running back in Derrick Henry, and they're at home. But I do have them beating the Patriots in the last week of the season, so I think they'll go 8-9. So I think the ceiling for the Dolphins is 10-7. I think their floor is 7-10. So I have them a little closer to their floor than their ceiling. But I think this is a team that could make the playoffs next year. But at 8-9, I do not think they will. And they'll finish third in the AFC East. So the team I have finishing second is the New England Patriots. I think this team is much improved from the team they were last year. Their top 5 on offense are Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, and Cam Newton. And their top 5 on defense are Matt Judon, Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, who they acquired from the Dolphins, Devin McCourty, Stephon Gilmore, and I think their offense will be average to good in the 15 to 20 range. Defensively, I think they'll be great in the 10 to 12 range. I think this team will be equally as good no matter who starts, Cam Newton or Mac Jones, because I think Cam Newton will be much improved this year. So they start their season off with 4 wins in the first 5 games, so they're going to have a good start to the season. I have them beating the Dolphins, beating the Jets, beating the Saints, losing to the Bucks, beating the Texans on the road because I think they're a better team. And then I have them losing to the Cowboys, which might come as a surprise, but the Cowboys have a good run game, and I think it's a letdown spot for the Pats. I have them beating the Jets. I have them losing to the Chargers in what I think will be a Justin Herbert revenge game. It's at the Chargers, so it's on the road. After that 45-0 blanking, I think Herbert will come out ready this time. At the Panthers, I have them losing. Versus the Browns, I have them losing. I think the Browns are going to be a powerhouse this year, so I don't think many people will be able to beat them. At the Falcons, I have them winning. I have them beating the Titans, who are about an even team, but I give the edge to the Patriots at home. And then at the Bills, I have them losing. This is a Monday night game. I have them losing on 12-6 and then beating the Bills at home on 12-26. I think they're about even when they play the Bills at home. I think on the road the Bills are a better team. And then so going into the bye, I have them 7-6. And then coming out of the bye, I have them beating the Colts on the road because their pass D is really good and will be a bad matchup for Wentz, which I'm sure you've heard me say a lot. I have them upsetting the Bills at home and splitting with them. And then I have them beating the Jags because I think they're better than the Jags and losing to the Dolphins in the final week. But despite that final week loss, I have them at 10-7, which should be good enough for a wild card spot. Their ceiling with either Mac Jones or Cam Newton is 12-5. I think their floor with Mac Jones is probably 7-10, whereas it's 8-9 with Cam Newton. And regardless of who starts, I have them finishing second in the AFC East behind my Buffalo Bills, my favorite team. So they're top 5 on offense, obviously Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Emmanuel Sanders, and Dawson Knox, their tight end, their top one now that a couple of their other options left in free agency. I think this is going to be a top 5 offense and good to great defense in the 10 to 15 range. Their top 5 on defense are Jerry Hughes, Ed Oliver, Tremaine Edmonds, Trey White, and Jordan Poyer. And I could include others like Micah Hyde on that list. I think they're going to start off with a win against the Steelers, who will regress on offense and defense from last year. They'll beat the Dolphins. I think I'll take Josh Allen over Ryan Fitzpatrick at home against the football team week 3. They'll win at home against the Texans, who I think they're better than by a lot. Then I have them losing back-to-back weeks at the Chiefs, who are elite, and at home. And then I wanted to give them the win against the Titans, but I'm giving the edge to the Titans. The Titans destroyed the Bills, and they're at home. I think Derrick Henry has a big game versus what is still a smaller Bills run D, even though it got a little bigger in the offseason. So I think they'll go 4-2 heading into the Week 7 bye. Coming out of the bye, though, they're going to torch. They're going to beat the Dolphins, beat the Jaguars, who they're more experienced than. The Jaguars could be the Bills in a few years, just FYI, because the Jaguars could do really well in the coming years. I have them beating the Jets, beating the Colts, same thing, great pass defense against Carson Wentz. I have them beating the Saints, beating the Patriots, who I have them losing to on 12-26 and beating on 12-6. At the Bucks, I have them losing. That one will be close. I have them beating the Panthers 12-19, losing to the Patriots on 12-26, and finishing the season with 2 straight wins. I do not think they'll rest their starters against the Jets if this year is anything to go by, and they'll beat the Falcons the week before. So I have them going 13-4, which is about the same as last year because we went 13-3 last year. I think their ceiling is 15-2, floor is 12-5, and I think they finish first in the AFC East, and we'll see where they finish. It's going to be either second or third in the AFC. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I'll be back with another divisional prediction video soon. Bye.